What up? It's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. It is WTF Wednesday. And if you haven't heard, my dogs know it's WTF Wednesday too. I don't know why they was quiet all goddamn day, and then all of a sudden, as soon as Greg hit the goddamn button, boom. But whatever. How everybody doing tonight? It's just me and Greg tonight. Dino is out in the horror world spreading fucking nightmares. And yeah, me and Greg just gonna sit here and bullshit. I want to pick his brain because he's not into politics at all. He's blue collar. He stays in his lane. He tries not to deal with that. So I want to see if any of the bullshit that's been going on politically has actually affected his life. And shit like that there. Because I've been hearing a lot of people bullshitting and whining about how Trump is taking away their food stamps and how Trump is taking away their medical and all this fuck shit. And yeah, we gonna at least try to set the record straight for whoever want to listen. That being said, on the 2s and 3s, always in the background, but up front tonight, we got Greg in the motherfucking house.
What up, y'all?
What up, Greg?
What's happening? And the dogs must love the intro music. I don't know, man. They just instantly started barking like as soon as
you hit that switch, dude. As soon as you hit it.
Right. Oh, shit.
How you been, man?
Oh, busy. You know how they go. Staying busy. But outside of that, pretty good. I can't complain.
That's what's up. So how are you feeling the effects at all of this government shutdown?
I vaguely, but it's like not on my end really. But it's more or less because people don't have the extra money to go and get their shit done. But it's very far in between. So, but outside of that, no, it hasn't really affected me at all.
Yeah. I mean, and by far, Greg is not poor, but he is not by any means, in the upper tax bracket or nothing.
Right.
So he's definitely the bracket of folks that this would supposedly be affecting. We're gonna set some things straight for you people who don't want to fucking do your own research. There is the only people that are getting booted off of welfare, off of Medicare, are people who weren't supposed to be on it. That's the first thing. They keep floating these millions numbers, these millions of people who's going to lose this and that, but they aren't telling you that 90% of them fucking people that are losing it are illegals. Those are ripped off the rip. 90% of the people who are losing anything are the illegals. The other 5% of them people that are on there are people that were never really eligible for that shit to begin with. They got dropped on it because of COVID. They loosened the standards on all that shit during COVID, and that's where we're at now because that was supposed to run out. Now, the whole reason why that was even implemented, the whole reason that wasn't just there, that wasn't just given to everybody. People like to forget that shit. When COVID hit, the government said, okay, there's a lot of y'all not being able to go to work or whatever. So we'll loosen the fucking standards on the welfare and on the Medicaid or whatever, and even on the Obamacare. But it was going to run out. And the specific date was September, whatever the fuck. Y'all acting like this shit was supposed to always be there. Especially like these Democrat fucking senators and Congress people, they're taking away this and that. No, that was never supposed to be there forever. Just like welfare was not supposed to be a staple of the community. Welfare was brought about with the Great Depression to try to help folks get back on their feet. I remember there was a day when it was, you held your head low when you had to pay with your food stamps. You shut the fuck up and got in the fucking food line just when everybody, you humbled yourself.
Right.
And that was incentive to get up off your ass and do better for your family.
Exactly.
Nowadays it's like, oh, I'm the welfare queen and I can bank up and the government's supposed to be paying for me. And y'all supposed to be, and it's got no color on it. It don't got a goddamn bit of color on it. Race-based bullshit. Because just as many white welfare queens out there as there is black welfare queens. Y'all all the entitled baby mamas out there who's soaking fucking dudes for their shit and then soaking the government for their shit.
Right.
And that's gonna stop.
Makes sense. And especially if it's people that shouldn't be on it in the first place, that's for sure. You know what I mean?
And the fact that they're making it so fucking easy. I mean, I have to admit that they are making it so you have to, if you're deemed ineligible for free stuff, you either have to go to school, which is paid by the government. So they're offering you education. Because a lot of y'all complain, oh, there is no education, there's no free education, there's nobody trying to help us. It's right there. It's right there. So and they're pretty much paying you to go to school, or you could go to work. Some places it's 140 hours. Some places it's only 80 hours a month. A month. I know people who put in 80 hours in a fucking weekend.
Right. Well,
I've personally watched Greg bust his ass on 3-4 jobs and just straight hours. When he woke up, he was on the cars. He couldn't do shows at night because he was on the cars.
Absolutely. Damn it.
Or if you don't want to if you don't want to go to the school, or you don't want to work, at least make yourself useful to the community, and you could even volunteer. If you put in so many hours volunteer, that counts as work. You could volunteer. So don't give me this, they're taking away or this and that. No, if you are able and they deem you able, and you can't go into them simple fucking 3 little brackets, fuck you, dude. Go live under a bridge. I don't want to hear a motherfucking thing about it. My son got shot. All he had to do was show a doctor's excuse. Boom. He got medical. Why is that so hard for any of y'all motherfuckers? Just to do the right thing. And he was even volunteering just to make up some, whatever before that. He volunteered at the shelter that I volunteer at. I mean, it's not, it's your laziness. It's you wanting to be a victim if you can't handle this shit. I'm a single dad. I got my it's two or more than one level. Let's just say we ain't gonna just label it as 2, but there's more than one label of disability. So I have one son who has a major disability. He got fucked up from his vaccines. He'll be with me forever. He's in a wheelchair. My other son, there was nothing wrong with him. He was being a good guy and picking up somebody, and somebody tried to rob him, and he got shot. So, he's gonna be limping forever. He ain't gonna be able to have a real good. So there's different levels of disability. So, but I mean, even for the disabled, I mean, there are jobs where you can sit down. There are jobs where you can stand up.
Yep.
I mean, this whole bullshit, and I was talking to. Well, I wasn't talking. I was kind of listening in. The other day, I was at Family Dollar, and I'm in line, and one lady, like this conversation went kind of all kind of ways I didn't think it was gonna go. The cashier told the lady that the lady who was she was ringing up. Her bill was, I think it was like maybe 67, maybe $70, somewhere around there. And she was like, "Ooh, man, this high. I don't know about how Thanksgiving gonna roll, and this and that." So the cashier says, "Oh yeah, and they only want to give you like $300 a week for food, food stamps. So how? Well, wait a fucking minute. Wait a fucking minute. Wait a minute. I'm just taking from the conversation, but $300 for a week's worth of food,
Right.
and you a single person? Like I done had to feed a whole family of people with $300 for the month.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to say.
So what? And then so the cashier says that to the other lady. Now I'm expecting the other lady to be on her side and start whining about the whole shut. And she was like, "Yeah, with this whole shutdown thing going on, it ain't gonna be no better. They gonna start stopping that stuff. And the problem is, wait for it. The problem is they gave all that goddamn money to the illegals and all these people who could work, and now us people who are we're working and trying to struggle and make ends meet. Now they ain't got nothing for us." She was absolutely. I'm glad that finally somebody in the community, and then the cashier just looked at her like, uh. And she went on to say, and these people who are able-bodied or whatever, they could go and put their measly 80 hours of work in. I don't want to hear it. I've been busting my ass all my life. And then everybody wants to keep with this bullshit with the Republicans are shutting down shit. What Scott got? I see Scott got put
Hold on, I'm
up.
throwing it up right now.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like people like Scott, and there's a lot of people out there like that who are working and want to be working, just need a little something to help out, and those are the people that get punished the most for it. I'm a prime example. Before I retired, I was pretty much forced into retirement. I had a job that I loved. I was qualified to do a bunch of shit, but I loved working at the junkyard. That was just my thing. I was there early. I left late. No matter what the fuck happened out in that yard, I knew I could fix. It was my problem. It wasn't anybody else's problem. It wasn't nobody's problem that I got to come in and work on. It was something that I could fucking fix. Because when I got custody of my kids, child support gave me $1 past eligibility for everything. They were going to take my kids off the Medicare. And I didn't care about any food stamps. I didn't want no check. I don't, I work for what the fuck I need. If I got to, anybody who knows me, I could be lazy, but when it's time to grind, it's time to fucking grind. And my kids ain't never went without. I pretty much never went without. If I can help my people out, that's how it is. So, but because I made $1 too much, which they knew I wasn't even getting, I was just awarded this certain amount in child support, which the chick was not paying, and they knew it was in the same building. The only thing that was separating shit was a door. But I had to quit my job that I fucking loved, that I was there for fucking almost 10 years. I had to quit that job so my kids could keep their medical. Now, when I went down there and to talk to the people and told them I quit my job, now not only do they want to offer all of us medical, oh, we can give you some food stamps. You're eligible for so many thousands of dollars in money. I said, wait a fucking minute, motherfucker. I was fine. My kids were fine. All I needed was the fucking medical to stay on. But this is, now you want to dump this. This is what the incentive that these young people had to fucking not fucking work. And that's what brought on the entitlement that we see in these adults today. See, if I want to stash my arm and a wrist at a block plant, the work still be there. Yeah. I mean, I think you should have stayed in rustling. Oh, you met Scott before, didn't you, Greg? Uh,
Um,
big
I'm not
dude
too
has
sure,
horns on his
probably.
forehead. He was a bouncer at the what concert we went to in the limousine.
Oh, out there in Newcastle, I think it was. Fuck.
It was that they wore the mask. They had the water on the drums.
Yeah, that was Mushroom Head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was my birthday when we all went out to Newcastle. We took the limousine and shit. Yeah, I don't remember very much. I mean, I remember a lot from that night, but not like people
I see. I remember.
and
I remember getting in the limo, getting out the limo, going inside and seeing the crazy people beating on the drums with the water. I remember seeing Scott there, and then it was the next day.
yeah, man, a lot happened that night though, dude. It was great. That was a good night. Man, I don't remember many people from that night. Not at all. Not anybody that wasn't with us, anyhow. You know what I mean? And y'all were lucky I remembered y'all. Like,
Oh, jeez. So I mean, what do you think about this whole situation? I mean,
well, when it comes to, I mean, I understand people in need. You know what I mean? The people that actually need it. Um, but like the stuff, it's really getting out of hand because like everybody has them to the point to where you're getting people that are selling them all the time. You know what I mean? And they've been doing it for years. You know, if you're able to sell to get money and do whatever, you know, which is sometimes you have to do that to be able to, you know, cope with other things in life, but whatever the case may be, but still at the same time, this shit is in abundance every fucking where. So, you know, yeah, I understand it's a little bit of an issue to struggle and like, because when me and Kathy first got together, we were getting food stamps for the kids and her and all that, you know what I mean?
mhm.
And I don't exactly remember the exact dollar amount, but it was, you know, I'd say probably like $800 a month or something like that. But that was four kids, me and her. You know what I mean? So that's six people. Um, and it was rough, like, and it was rough with that amount a month at the time because that's when the food prices were starting to skyrocket and all that shit. Um, I think I was making, I don't know, roughly 350 a week back then. You know what I mean? And she was working with her sister. She was only bringing home maybe at max another $200, 250 a week. So combined between us, we were making $500-600 a week. So you figure that was what 2,000. We'll say just $2,000 a month, and we were making too much. Our rent was 750. Just the car insurance at the time was like $300 for both of us. You know what I mean? And that didn't include anything else that we needed. You know, water bill, electric bill, any of that shit. And by the time just any of that, like we had no money at the end of the month. And you know that's where the food stamps would have really came in. You know what I mean, and helped. But I ended up, like you said, you know, I ended up just staying late. I ended up making the extra money to be able to do what I needed to do. Um, so I have been in that situation before, where you know what I mean. But at the same time, I still between me and her, we weren't making enough to survive. You know, at least a couple $100 a month would have been nice. You know, for all of us. But once all the kids got older and all that, you know, that was it. We weren't worried about it because they could feed themselves now. You know what I mean? So we weren't. But still, you know, back then when they were that young and they were all pre-teens, you know, and going into their teens, so they were eating like crazy, and you know what I mean, and all that shit. So, uh, but as far as my outlook on it, I mean, it's always been like you said, it's not supposed to be a permanent thing, you know. And I always knew back then too, you know, even when it happened, it didn't really like hurt my feelings or you know any of that sort because I knew it was coming, you know, because we were both evolving, we were doing more, we were making more, you know what I mean. And it was a hand that we needed at the time. And they didn't the government seen that it wasn't fit that you know we were fit enough to where we didn't need it, and we just ran with it. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's never a permanent thing. It's supposed to just be to help you get on your feet type of thing, and people are making a living off of it. So
Yeah, what drives me nuts is, trying to find out where these people are getting a lot of this bullshit. It's coming from our generation telling these young kids that they're supposed to be getting this shit. A lot of these people were taught this shit. Like, it didn't just come about. I can't just say it was social media pushing it constantly. Like, a lot of these fucking people are out here and nails done, all the newest iPhone, got a pretty fucking car, this and that. Kids, the 50 fucking kids, and they think they're entitled to food stamps and, oh, I can't work. How am I supposed to work? Or I got, and this whole, I got a disability, I got PTSD. They made it so easy for people who don't have a fucking thing wrong with them to get Social Security, but the people who need that shit don't get it. Like, I've seen plenty of old timers who put their work in, now they hit their age and they having a hard time getting fucking Social Security, or handicapped people trying to get Social Security. My son, who's in a wheelchair, who's not verbal and not fucking, can't get Social Security. But bitches are out here, oh, I got PTSD because daddy was mean to me, or I got beat up, or I was in an abusive relationship, or I have anxiety, or shit like that. They're all getting Social Security. And then they have kids with this bullshit because they're feeding drugs to these kids. And now they're getting and now you're taking advantage of the system. And you're pissed that you got caught, and then you think you're entitled to that shit. Like,
And honestly, I think that's where a lot of that issue comes from, is the entitlement, because everybody thinks everything should be given to them. A lot of people, not everybody, I'm sorry, but a lot of people, they think that I deserve, I need, I should have, I should. Not how it works. That's not how we were growing up. If you want, you go get. That's the way we were taught. And it wasn't, you go get it off of the government and get it handed to you. You go work for it. You go get it. You know what I mean? That gumption is far in between now anymore.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Yep.
It is fucking unreal. And
Well,
the fact that there's a new thing going around. There's a Democrat who was elected and was confirmed to be on the Congress or Senate or whatever the hell. And Mike Johnson is refusing to swear her in until the shutdown is over with. And the rumor is that she says that as soon as she gets in, they have the majority of the vote. They're releasing the Epstein files. What the fuck are you people looking for? Like, I'm dying to, like, if you haven't noticed, like, and I've been noticing this with Trump and the different hearings and stuff, especially with Cash Patel, because Cash Patel got a shady side to him, but I think I see what he's doing, because Trump is doing the same thing. There's got to be certain reasons and certain people higher ups that say you can't just come and drop all this shit out.
mm-hmm.
We all know that. There are higher ups. There's people higher than 47. There's people higher than any Democrat who are calling the shots. We just established that. I mean, we all know that. Now, but as far as for our level, if you haven't noticed, like, damn near every other, I mean, even though if Trump's like, oh, if you guys are still on that shit, you're stupid. Every so many, like every 2 or 3 speeches, Trump drops a couple more names. Every fucking Senate hearing that, when the Cash Patel's up there and he's saying, no, there's no investigate, there's no this, there's no that, then he'll drop a couple new names. So what they're doing is they're letting the shit out, but in a way that can't come back on them. Because there has been at least 6 or 7. I mean, there's some names I didn't want to see on there. 6 or 7 big fucking names that have already been out.
Like Scott's.
Hope they don't release them because my nigga. I mean, uh, and I put out I reposted an old list that was there from back in the day. We supposedly know it was debunked. I hate to say it as much as I would like. Well, I mean, in a abstract type way, I don't really want him to be there, because there was fuck shit going on. But I would have loved to have seen the Obamas being on that fucking list, and that original list they were on there, but they weren't. They weren't. I fucking hate Obama. I hated his policies. I hated what he stands for. I hate all of his shit. But as a man, as a person who does his fucking research, I know him and Big Mike weren't on the fucking island. They might have known about it, but they weren't there. They weren't. They weren't on planes. They weren't on the islands. They weren't. But I mean, Copperfield was there. Prince Drew was there. Musk had appointments and shit. He was there. I hate to say it. I fucking hate to say it. Dershowitz was there. That the head of Harvard was there. Oh, but everybody wants to see this list, but nobody's talking about any of them. Will Smith was there. Fucking Robert Downey Jr. was there. That's a kick in the dick for me. I ain't gonna lie. Just the Iron Man, that's a kick in the dick for me. But it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's talking about that. Nobody gives two fucks about that. They're dying to see 47 on there. When you dumb fucks, he was the one who snitched in the first place. Like, that's the thing that fucking kills me. If any of these morons who are up on these fucking files would really do some research, it's like they go from the 80s when they were hanging out, then they skip a big portion, and then all of a sudden he's the president. And he was in the list. You didn't put together just like, oh, everybody did. Oh, there's pictures of him and underage girls. There's pictures of him and underage girls. No. When they asked the guy who took the pictures and who said all this shit about it, how old were the girls? Well, they were under 21. And the interviewer was like, but were they over 18? They were 19 and 20, but they were under 21. Well, underage and under 21 is two big fucking different deals there.
Yeah.
Big deal. Like, there's a big difference. And it's about fucking 15 years.
Yeah.
So, no, he didn't have no underage girls on his pictures with topless underage girls. Yes, he had topless pictures of 19 and 20-year-olds, which if I was there, I would too.
I give you that. Definitely would. Definitely would.
I mean, are you out of your shit? And I mean, when it boils down to it, and I mean, it could work on both ends of the argument. But I look at it this way: if you are in the public eye, and you have that much money to influence shit before influencers existed, you could have pretty much any female you want. Don't give me this. Oh, I don't care about money. Yeah, you do, bitch. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You do. You do. Your mama does. Your grandmama does. Your grandmama will give a Gumby quick for a few $1 million. Best believe it. Best believe it. Papa be sitting there watching because he was from that day where you did what you had to do to take care of the family. And so, I mean, I don't see like especially for as controversial as Trump always been, even doing some fuck shit that would really take him down like that. I could see maybe like these princes and shit like that. But let's get it straight. Trump was never in no caliber of a Prince Andrew. Trump will never be in the caliber of the fucking crown. Come on. Ain't nobody in this fucking whole America will be in the caliber of the crown. We'll just go set that straight right the fuck there. So, I mean, the names are out there. The names are out there. And like, for Musk, Musk ain't no caliber of the crown. He might be, like a landscaper on the crown, but he ain't no fucking, he ain't in the building. I'm
Right.
sorry, you can launch as many rockets in the air as you want. They've been shooting rockets and cannonballs at people for fucking millennia. So, I mean, if I was Elon, I wouldn't be so fucking messy. Because Elon's messy. I don't give a fuck, autistic or not, dude. You should have somebody around you smacking your hand or something. Like, no, don't do that. Like just some hot TikToker said, I want to fuck Elon and have his kid. He said, okay. And he went and did it. Now, do you know how many millions of dollars your dick just cost you? You know what that just cost you? Somebody needed to be like, no, stop it. Stop it. Put the phone down. Put the phone down. You're grounded. Go work on your missiles. Right. Go work on the go work on the missiles. Get away from the Twitter, twatter, whatever the fuck.
Get away from that shit. Leave it alone.
I mean, Elon's messy, man. I mean, just like the whole Epstein thing. Like, I knew he was fucked with the Epstein thing when they had pictures of Elon at like a movie theater with Epstein in the VIP section with Epstein. Like,
yeah,
they was watching like a Marvel movie that was recent.
Right.
So I mean, now there's no indications that there's any wrongdoing just yet, but we know Musk was on the island and Musk had appointments to be on the island. Like, there's literally like Musk Island, this date with this time, like he was written in. So right. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't setting up Starlink. Their internet wasn't down.
Right. It's working.
The cable ain't on, honey. Call Elon.
Hey, who else better to fix it, though? I'm just saying.
I mean, if you got it like that, if you had money like that, look, my cable's out. I'm calling cable. Like, not the cable company. I'm calling the cable man. He is the man. He owns cable. Right. He owns the internet. Like right. Come here and fix this.
Right. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I bet you do.
The fuck you mean you don't know what's wrong with it? You own the
internet. I just own stock.
Oh fuck.
Oh man.
But yeah, nobody wants to talk about it. These other dudes, man, and it's like, they just blow it right the fuck off. There's all these congressmen pushing. Yeah, you need to drop this and you need to drop that. But when Kash Patel asked the question, well, why didn't you vote for it? They had a vote to release this. Why didn't you vote to release this? You were there. Why didn't you stop the judge from halting this? You were there. Why are you blaming me for shit? Like, you guys are higher than him. Why are you blaming him for shit that you should be doing? But and then the other fuck shit that, like, and Mike Johnson came out straight up. Like, he said, I have nothing to negotiate with you guys about. It's the same bill. We just took out the bullshit. It's the same bill that they've been passing for the past 13 times. 13 times before this, they passed the same shit. But now, because they want to take out the circumcisions for the trans testicles in Zimbabwe or whatever, and they want to take away the fucking pride shit over in the UK, and they want to take away, the cooking classes over somewhere in fucking Zambia or Uganda or whatever. But they want to take all that shit out. Oh no, our American people gotta get fucked for it. And they keep saying that this is about healthcare. They're trying to keep the healthcare. The only healthcare they're trying to keep is the healthcare subsidies, which, again, subsidies, if the healthcare was working, then you wouldn't need subsidies. All the healthcare for the illegals. And they're talking about the whole Obamacare thing, too, which, they again, the Obamacare rates that a lot of these people got, which, you know what, I'm going to just say this first of all. Obamacare sucked, but it was something. So for you Republicans out there who say, you need to get rid of Obamacare, this and that, unless you got something better to put in its place, shut the fuck up. Because it may be a broken system, but it's a system being maintained. That being said, it was just like welfare. It was pretty much paid welfare. And you had a bracket you were in. And they raised that bracket when COVID came. So again, if you still weren't able for the food stamps and all that shit for free, you still got them at a minimum. As long as you were in this bracket, you paid me, so much a month, and you were in this bracket and you got taken care of. Well, that wasn't the original bracket, and y'all all know that. And again, that went along the wayside. There was a deadline for that, and it passed. So, I mean, this horse shit about, he's raising the rates just to give tax breaks to the ultra wealthy. But they never say who the ultra wealthy is. And it's mighty funny that it's the ultra wealthy telling people that he's giving the tax breaks to the ultra wealthy. I just seen Nancy Pelosi do 3 different interviews at 3 different times. It was like somebody hit Control-Alt-Delete on her fucking brain in the middle of her talking. Like she just, why do you keep talking about this? It's all about Donald Trump, and he's giving tax breaks to the ultra wealthy while raising insurance rates of this person and that person. And dude, she just stops. She just stops. Bitch, you are the ultra wealthy. People have apps just to track the way you trade stocks. What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, dude, that fucking kills me. Like even Whoopi Goldberg, love to call racism. Everything is so racist. Bitch, how did you get to your position if you are Motorola Black looking like a predator? How the fuck did you get past the racism? I mean, just because you were in the color purple don't mean we live in the color purple. How'd your best buddy Oprah get past the racism? I'm trying to figure it out. And for you people who think it's racist to not want Bad Bunny on the fucking thing, I'm Puerto Rican. I don't want that European cigarette on the fucking stage neither. I mean, don't give me he got a following and he's this and he's that. They made him sound like he was Pitbull and shit. No, that motherfucker is Poodle. That motherfucker is pink poodle like a motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
Have you seen some of his horse shit? Like that?
Dude, I didn't even know who it was.
Me neither.
I think we were here and I had to look him up. And I was thinking some chick, you know what I mean? I automatically by the name, you know what I mean? I'm just thinking how you had all the bad whatever it was back in the day, all the rappers and shit that were coming out, you know what I mean? So I heard Bad Bunny and I'm like, all right, I'm thinking some chick. I bring it up, and the dude with a full goatee and the whole. I'm
like, yeah, he sings fairy salsa. He sings fairy salsa. That's the best way I can say it. He sings rainbow bachata.
Yeah, I haven't checked him out. I don't think I'm ready.
Dude, I've seen a couple of the videos. I'm like, even Jeffree Star calls him a cigarette.
That's horrible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I can see why some people don't want that shit on the Super Bowl thing. But then again, let's be real. The Super Bowl halftime shows have been a lot of, we're gonna sound like Kanye West now, a lot of demonic rituals and shit for at least the past 10 years. So, what's the difference?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I never really got into the halftime show, but to me, like my understanding, like you said, he does Latin or it's not even English or whatever. Like most of the people watching that are going to understand what it even is.
I
Like,
never really stopped anybody. I mean, remember Color Me Bad? You know, you had everybody, blacks and white people. Tu eres contigo, I'm a new
yeah, but I mean,
I'm
does he have English yet? Like Color Me Bad? Like, do they have does he have English songs that he does, or because I don't know, I've never listened to his music.
I honestly, no, I seen part of a video of a dude in like a yoga pants and a halter top, and I was like, nope, nope, not my nope.
All right, I'm going to Google University. And I'm going to see if he does stuff in English. Is it just spelled Bad Bunny, like regular Bad Bunny?
I guess so. Like BAD Bunny.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Well, most of the titles of the songs I don't know. There is a couple English ones in there, so I'm guessing he does do some English.
And the big thing is like he spoke out against the immigrations and the deportations or whatever. Which, hey, he's allowed to do that shit. There was nothing about that. But then, he pulled a Snoop Dogg. He said he wasn't gonna perform in America because of that shit. And then they said, "You want to do the Super Bowl?" He said, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do the Super Bowl." Just, and that's another fucked up thing. Snoop was all about. There was this big controversy because Snoop, took his kids to see some fucking cartoon, and he had a fit because they was putting gay shit on the cartoon, and then now he got gays and transformers and shit on his cartoons. His new cartoon coming out. So I mean, uh, Snoop, the Snoop story is another shady story that's out there.
Well, back to Google University over here, it does say no, Bad Bunny does not have any songs written in English. His music is primarily Spanish, while he collaborates with English-speaking artists. So he does some English stuff, but it's usually other collabs, I'm guessing. And
I mean,
occasionally performs in a mix of languages. So yeah, every once in a while he does. But so yeah, so most of his stuff's going to be Spanish. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of people watching are going to know Spanish, but there's going to be a lot of them that don't.
and again, I don't have that. Like that ain't even my problem with it. I mean, I really,
That's
it's,
my only problem would be with it. Other than that, I mean, if he's an artist and like the Super Bowl is halftime has always been what's hot, what's popular, what's what I
right.
mean. So if he's what's hot and what's popular now, then you know what I mean. If everybody can enjoy it, then
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
but
come on, like you honestly think about it. Think back to when Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and all them did the halftime show.
right,
Now, what
right,
you
right.
think back in the '90s? Did you ever think in your lifetime that you would see Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and any of them guys on the Super Bowl field?
I never thought I'd see Snoop and Martha Stewart together.
What? Okay, they're getting out of fucking hand. You understand what I'm saying
Right,
now?
right, right.
Like you never thought gangster rap would be on a halftime show. You know what I mean? But
No,
That's
they're just on
on tape.
training videos and sports highlights.
Right, right, right. But then at the same time, they've also had a lot of heavy metal or
Right,
rock,
right.
or you know what I mean. So it's always been. So if it's something different, it's something different. You know. So
The
that's
only
the
thing I
only.
don't, the only thing I got a problem with, like, is if he starts pulling some rainbow shit up on the stage. And it's like,
I'm almost certain. I don't care who really goes up there. Somehow, some way, it's going to get brought up, even to the good or to the negative, one way or the other.
yeah,
Because
because I mean,
again,
like I said, the videos that I've seen, that's a halftime show. You do your performance, you do your thing, but nobody wants to, no, nobody. That's the whole bitch about that whole fucking rainbow issue. Nobody wants to see that shit in front of their kids.
right,
Nobody wants to see that. And you know how many kids, teenagers, whatever. I mean, you can love who you want to love. You could be who you want to be. But you can't keep trying to force this shit on people because you didn't. The more and more you force something, a tolerant person becomes a real ignorant, intolerant person once pushed to that level.
right. And I have a very good prime example of that when we all went out in the Turtles, I think over there in PA to see OTEP and that. You the whole time you liked the music they were playing and all that. I think it was like two more songs left, and they come up saying something about fuck Trump, and it like ruined their whole outlook on them. You know what I mean? And to me, in that situation, that should have never even been brought up. You know, that's not what we were there for. That's not, you know what I mean? So yeah, I can see where you get your point of view from, and that's just
And the thing was, and if you do remember, I didn't make a scene. I
nope.
didn't fucking, I went outside and me and Jared did some of the best interviews of the whole fucking night. We met, a matter of fact, I just put his hat in the their hat in the washing machine. What the fuck was the name of that band? They were great. I thought they were better than OTEP themselves. And, I talked to a few of the roadies and the people who rode with OTEP, and them people were assholes anyways. So, I
Right,
mean, but again, like you said, none of that shit should be like. There are certain bands that are political bands, like for
right,
instance, Rage Against the Machine, shit like that.
yeah,
But people know that, and that's what they go to them shows for.
right.
But when you were there and you listened to five of their albums, and it was none of that shit, it was just good music that you like, and then all of a sudden you're gonna stop the show for your fuck shit, then you kind of ruin your whole thing.
Right. But yeah, and that's kind of like the same thing. You know, I've always said the political bullshit should have been left out of music, other than like you said, like Rage Against the Machine stuff. The people that were doing that shit for that type of shit. You know what I mean? So
That was
yeah,
like,
if you're going to them shows, yeah, expect that shit. But for any regular, you know, but again, at the same time, when you're that popular and you have a name, you have a voice that's better than mine or yours. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's why they're using them. I understand that, but at the same time, man, leave that shit at home. That's not what we're there for.
Remember fucking Rocks Fest? And the chick got on stage talking, stop the whole fucking show. Stop the whole fucking show because she wanted to talk about Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
And Greg and Scotty grabbed me up. Mark, don't. Oh my God. Oh
it,
my God.
it was getting real ugly. It was getting real ugly.
Yeah, and I mean, for at least 5 to 8 minutes, this chick just kept rambling and rambling. Like, bitch, we didn't come here for this.
Right.
Like, not one
Exactly.
person. Now, this was 3 days of bands, and not one person brought up any fucking thing political.
Yep.
Like, you want to get your ass up there? Shut the fuck up. You just ruined everybody's high.
Right. And the sad part is, as soon as they said, "Does anybody want to get up on stage and say something?" I had even looked over at Scotty. I said, "Dude, this is gonna get ugly." He goes, "What?" I said, "This is gonna get ugly." It's like, "Nah, man, it's cool. We're at no." And then the first thing this bitch said was Bernie Sanders. I was like, "Well," he looked at me. He said, "Fuck." I said, "Yep, here we go." So yeah, I thought it could get way worse, but we made it. We
Oh, it
got
could have.
through
It could have.
it. Right.
I listen to my team. You always got to have a good team out there. Even if you don't agree with them sometimes, you listen to your team. Yeah,
Right. Especially when they all have the same opinion and yours is wrong.
yeah. You just listen to your team. You can have more discussions and debates later, but in that point in
Right.
time, because I would have made that I'd have hurt that poor girl's feelings.
Right. Holy shit. Yeah, that would have been all bad. But yeah, again, that just again that shit just does not need to be there. You know what I mean? If you want to use your voice to be all that, get your ass on the internet, get your ass in the newsroom, get your ass in in the places where people are looking for that kind of stuff. If you want to bring the people that are into your music into that, you want to influence them and not let them have their own fucking opinion, then that's cool. That I guess that's cool. But that I don't know. I've never understood it.
I noticed that like a lot of people uh do that in comedy nowadays too.
Yep.
And now
It's everything, dude. Every fucking thing. Everything.
uh, well, I mean, like the most that I've seen, like where it affected any of the shows that I was in, like it's one thing to joke about something. We all made jokes about presidents. We all made jokes about the
Oh yeah.
government. No,
Hmm.
but to go on a political tirade in the middle of your set that has no jokes in it, no jokes whatsoever. It was just like you chose this time to stop comedy and do a TED talk. Like it's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like I had just one comedian, and he was just I ain't gonna put his name out there, but he was just an arrogant motherfucker to begin with, and he just like he tried to talk to me, and I was like oh well I perform with this person that person. Yeah, I'm happy for you. You're on the same stage as I am, motherfucker. I don't want to hear it.
Right. Like yeah, we're doing the same thing here. What do you? What do
Yeah.
you, you get
So
that?
like he got on stage, and this was over in Struthers at Club 31, and I was supposed to go right after him. He
Mm.
got on stage and he told like two jokes. And then from that point on, he just did his fucking TED talk about how stupid Republicans are and how Trump is ruining the country. And it not even in a joke form, not even in a like I
This is what's going on. This isn't funny. And yeah, I got
yeah,
you.
yeah. So finally and he didn't the last thing he said was open up your fucking eyes. Thank you and my name is this and that. Like why the fuck you even come there? Why'd you? And like John, it was one of the Huff shows. He was looking at me, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna snap on his motherfucker. Like he
Get
asked
him. I'm gonna get him.
John looked at me. He's like, I'm gonna let you go cool off. I'm gonna put so and so up after you, and then you go up.
Oh,
And
he should have put you right up. That would have been perfect. He should have put you right up
I
after
still,
him.
it was only 5 minutes in between because the dude did his set, and I went up, dude. I tore into that motherfucker. Look, man.
It'd have been better without that
And I
5 minutes,
and I
though.
was like right in his face, like I walked right up on him, like right face to face on him, and started talking about yeah.
Oh shit.
I can't stand it. And then just recently, and one of my dudes, one of my, I consider a friend, um, out in Cleveland, like he just, just in the middle of his set, he was doing good, he was doing everything, and in the middle of his set, he just went on this tirade about Trump taking people food stamps, and I'm just like, uh, what the Re- really? Like this is where you chose to do your little soapbox thing, like right now? Like, like nobody wants to hear that. If you got a good joke or whatever, because I've made fun of Trump, I made fun of Obama, I've made fun of fucking all kind of political people. If you got a joke, that's one thing. But nobody wants to hear like if you got political views or whatever like this, you make your podcast. If somebody wants to hear it, they'll tune in.
Right. Well, it's not even that. Like I said, take your ass into newsrooms. Take your ass. Get yourself out there where it belongs. You know what I mean?
At least get some facts. Get
Right.
some facts.
Right. But and I've also noticed too. A lot of the people that do it are just doing it for attention. You know what I mean? That bothers me a lot too. Like I don't even know if you truly support this person. I think you're just doing it because everybody around
Yep,
you's
yep.
doing it, or everybody's on the opposite team and you just
Oh,
want to
I've met a
be
lot of people. They don't really
right.
feel like that, but they'll follow that little group.
Right.
Why? Because it's cool to be with that little group.
Either that, or it's just going to mind the other people in the room. You know what I mean? And I see that a lot. You know what I mean? And people just do it to agitate people, which that's perfectly normal. I like that, but be upfront about it. Don't be like playing for the other team when you don't. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's fake motherfuckers, dude.
Right? 100%. 100%.
You know, it's just like, I get called racist so much anymore that I
Oh,
just
you.
I embrace it now. Like, you racist? Yes, I am. And when I say that, now what? Now what? Are we
Right.
gonna go along on the conversation? Are we gonna keep talking? Or you gonna walk away? What? Because it looks to me like we're working here. Now what? Like,
Right. What are we doing? What is the next move?
I've told that to the few people already, dude. I love the fucking reaction. I love the reaction, dude. The first time I got it, look, there's this another comedian I just met recently within the past few months. She's one of the Koreans. We can't even tell if it's north or south. 1 minute she says it's north, 1 minute she says it's south. She's probably just a stoner from fucking California for all I know.
Here, there, she lives right there on that line.
Yeah, but like her name she spells her name like a black girl, but her name is Skylar. There's not one K in that whole fucking mess.
All right.
Yeah, there's like a U where a fucking Y should be. Like but it's Skylar. But
All right.
she comes up to me because a couple of the hosts, introduced me as their favorite racist. She comes up to me. We're at a place in Newcastle, and she says, "Marco, I have to ask you, are you really racist? Because so and so said that you were his favorite racist. Are you really racist?" Yes, I am. Dude, the look on her face! Oh my god, it was fucking great.
Oh shit.
Or last night I had I was at a mic out in Warren, and Dan had said something about me being Puerto Rican, and the dude looked at me and was like, "You're Puerto Rican?" Like, no, I'm fucking American. Why? Puerto Rico's America, motherfucker. Come on. And then I really fucked him up. He was like, "So you are Puerto Rican?" I was like, "Yeah." It was like, "You were born in Puerto Rico?" I was like, "No, I was born in Youngstown. I'm more of Native American." Fucked him all up. You can see it, his brain just went.
Oh fuck. I'd have been dying, dude. I'd have been loud laughing behind you. I think.
Dude, there was an old couple sitting at the bar, and you could tell they didn't want to be fucked with by comedy. They didn't.
I get my check.
They just came in to have a drink. Old timer looked like he just got done working on the backyard, maybe building a shed or something. Nana looked like she just got done making some muffins or some shit. They stopped in to have a fucking beer, and
me on their goddamn way.
I sat next to the lady, and I looked at her and I asked her name, and it was Shar something, and I asked her husband's name, and I looked. I was like, "Your old lady's kind of hot." Mind you, this Nana was probably like 78, 80 years old. I mean, typical. If Trump supporter had a fucking beer people, that they would be them. Like I said, he had the flannel with the suspenders and the old fucking ball cap. She had the fucking the silver white hair and the shawl. You know what I'm saying? Look like they should be on an old Christmas magazine or some shit.
Right.
The old man looks at me, just gives me this look, and mind you, he's like 5 times her size too. And I said something about having kids and like a bunch of kids and grandkids, and she looked at me and she said, "I have 16 kids." And I looked at him. I was like, "Oh, Nana pussy fire! That's why you were ready to fuck me up." He's like, "Yeah, you don't fuck with my old lady." He got that shit on lock.
Hell yeah.
16? That little lady, I mean, for being older, she kept her figure. You would have thought 16 kids, she'd have been dragging a fupa behind her.
Something.
Fuck.
Right.
Give it up for Pawpaw, too. He just pounding that shit.
Hammering them out. Hammering them out.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt they had a teenager at home right now.
Probably. Fucking baby crying, driving them nuts. That's why they was at the bar.
Yep, that's what. Just got a fucking sitter, and we got this goddamn spick next to us
Right.
fucking telling jokes.
Can't get no goddamn peace.
All right, man. With that being said, everything else in the news ain't been too much of shit. Keep an eye on that 3-eye Atlas. It's hiding behind the sun now, and supposedly it's dropping drones on Mars. But we don't know about that, none of that shit.
Right.
And y'all better watch following that idiot Brandon Johnson out there. For my people in Chicago, for everybody in Chicago, whether you like me or not, or whether you even know I even exist, y'all don't be listening to that idiot. He's telling y'all to go and fight the motherfucking the police and the federal people and shit like that. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. They ain't there for y'all. As much as this media is trying to tell you they going after y'all, they ain't there for y'all. They going for them illegals that y'all always bitching about he was giving the money to. Now you want to step in their way, you're going to get fucked up. So I'm just letting y'all know now, for the peace and the safety of y'all and you idiots out in Portland, them motherfuckers is just, even their own judge, their own appeal judge was like, especially after this weekend, a bunch of fuck shit happened, their own appeal judge was like, yeah, fuck it, Trump can bring in the army. I mean, that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. And weren't y'all the people just not so long ago defund the police? And weren't y'all the people who done made everything legal, every drug, meth, fent, whatever the fuck, it was all legal? Yeah. This is the cost of that shit. Y'all couldn't handle it. Y'all couldn't handle the free space in the fucking playground. That was the whole reason. They said, okay, you want to do this shit? You want to go ahead, go try it. And this is what the fuck you showed. So don't ask for it again. Once order is brought there, don't ask for it again. There ain't going to be no legal everything no more. It ain't going to be no squatting anywhere you want to fucking squat anymore. It ain't going to be no let's take over these fucking blocks or whatever. It ain't going to be no more defund the police. Y'all going to shut the fuck up, clean up yourselves, and be decent human beings now, whether you like it or not. And don't let these idiots out here like Brandon Johnson and Prisker and all these other, and Gavin Newsom, talk about San Fran's the greatest city in the world, and it looks like fucking Bangladesh. Dude, you see recent pictures of fucking California in general, but San Fran, Jesus Christ, you wouldn't think that's not the fucking California we grew up knowing. That sure as fuck not. I think even the gays bailed out of there. San Fran was known for being the gay capital of the fucking America, and it was nice. It was fucking beautiful. It was beautiful. Now there's shit. Now the dogs got to step over people's shit.
Horrible.
Yep. That being said, y'all be good to each other. I'm not sure if we're gonna have mental health tomorrow night. I got to see if Dino got to work or not. Mental health, and then I believe Dino's still doing this show with Atlas on Sundays, Generation Dan, and then we got motherfucking Mondays, and we'll see about Life of Giant on Mondays. Check out our Facebook pages because I got some shows coming up soon. I know I got one, I believe, this weekend out at the Cove in Ashtabula, a Halloween show. There's going to be prizes and all that shit for costumes. So come on out and check us out there. I believe there's going to be a show November 17th at the Funny Farm. It's going to be a holiday show there. And then I believe I'm going to be doing a rainbow show with Carlos Rivera sometime in November also, and that's to be determined. We're going to see how that's going. I haven't heard too much about that. Also check out the Afterlife. They got open mics in Akron. That place is banging. I'm telling you, go check that fucking place out. I didn't know we was doing the comedy contest, but I guess the round 2 is next week. I think they're doing it every other week, so that's Thursday next week. So I'll probably be out there again just because that place is beautiful and I love that stage. Like it's a real deal. You feel like a rock star on that fucking stage, dude.
Fuck yeah.
But, yeah. That being said, take care of each other, and don't believe the hype out there, man. Don't believe the hype. Help out where you can, and make sure you take care of yourself first because if you can't if you ain't no good, then you can't help out nobody else. I'm out.
Good night, y'all.